With the release of Sonic 3, it's time to rank all live-action Sonic projects, from the Sonic movies to the Knuckles show. Let's start. Now the problem with this Knuckles show is it could have worked if you actually focused on Knuckles. Because the show's not about Knuckles, it's about Wade and his bowling championship. Now if you ask me, Wade's story isn't actually that bad. I always enjoyed Wade's storyline in here, but it's not Knuckles. The show's not called Wade, it's called Knuckles. If we actually focused on Knuckles in his own show, with his character arc and getting used to Earth, it could have been something. In episode 4, we see Knuckles' backstory, but it's told through Wade's perspective in a costume in a musical sequence. If we got that, but with Knuckles there instead of Wade, and with no music, it could have been something else. It could have been an actual Knuckles show. But instead, the entire show is just told through Wade's perspective. And we also see adults acting very immature in here. Like in episode 3, Wade's sister stabs him with a fork. You guys are like grown adults. Why are you stabbing each other with forks and fighting at the dinner table? I don't know. But when the show is actually about Knuckles, it's what you want. But the show's not about Knuckles, it's about Wade. And with that corny humor that follows that. I don't think it's a bad show, but it doesn't deliver on what you wanted the show to be. Now for me, this was a step down from the first. I know some people say this is a step up from the first, but for me it's a step down from the first. The biggest downside to this movie is the humor. That was always the downside to me. Some of it is extremely over the top and just cringe. But some jokes do land, and the ones that did land, they landed alright. The plot is a lot stronger in this movie than it was in the first movie. But by the end of the movie, I was like, okay, this plot is dragging on. Can we kind of just wrap this up soon, please? And some of the stuff that kind of broke the runtime is just the cringe moments like breakdancing and the wedding scene. Do those moments really need to be in here? Take those out, runtime would have gone a lot smoother. Knuckles is the best part of this movie. He has some great comedic lines, and he's just a cool character to have in here. Now, I'm not a Sonic fan. I don't really know the lore and stuff, but I do know the characters. But Super Sonic gets me excited just seeing Super Sonic. Now, Super Sonic was barely in this movie. The movie has its moments, but story didn't really interest me by the end of it, and cringe moments kind of just interrupted the movie. Now, it was basically between this movie and the third one, but this one is just a fun road trip movie. It's a good start to the Sonic franchise. It's not trying to do anything big. Not trying to introduce Knuckles, Tails, Shadow. It's not doing any of that. And just telling a grounded story for its start of this franchise that's now making a fourth movie. Sonic 2 took the skills up. Sonic 3 took the skills up. So, why should we start with those skills high? Let's move those skills down and start with just a road trip Sonic movie. And that's exactly what it is. A fun road trip movie. Not with this face, but with this face. This movie makes you excited for what's to come next, while also not trying to do anything too grand, too over the top, and keeping things simple. Now the main reason this movie's number 1 for me is just the final act and post-credit scene alone. I was geeking out so much, and I'm not even a fan of Sonic. I just know who the characters are. I don't know anything about the lore. That just shows how epic, how action-packed this movie is. Keanu Reeves as Shadow. Great ad. More Jim Carrey. More humor from him. Actually see the Sonic team in here as a team with Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic. We see all these elements combined together to make this movie that we see. In my opinion, the best Sonic movie with all the epic moments, with all the action scenes. I don't think Sonic 4 could come any sooner because with everything they teased at the end of this movie, and we have to wait till 2027 for that? That's kind of like, you're telling me you tease that and have to wait 2 years for that? Now, this movie just left me so excited for Sonic. And I'm not even a Sonic fan. I might try looking into the lore after this movie, because it just left me so excited with just the final battle, post-credit scenes, action-packed movie. which is probably why this movie deserves the #1 spot. Anyways, if you want to see my review for Sonic 3, you can find that right here or some other video right down here. But with that, thanks for watching.